It's the third time that the main event is Reynor versus Clem. One time though they played reverse race, so that doesn't really count. And the other one was a long time ago. It was in the very beginning. It seems like we're gonna kick things off on Reynor's map choice, as map 1 has been hosted and it's Ancient Cistern. Obviously throughout the best of 5 there will be plenty of nice Terran maps. Let's just see what the boys vetoed. What did the boys veto? I guess Reynor vetoed Near Humanity, maybe? What did Clem veto? Altitude then, I guess, if we're playing Ancient. Just want to make sure that we don't have any random surprises in the middle of this best of 5. Clem vetoed Altitude. Reynor vetoed Grasvan. Okay. Alright. Okay. Good luck, guys. Seems like they haven't really set the order of maps yet. They only did the first 2. Reynor picked Ancient. Clem picks Royal. Reynor picks Dragon Skills as a third map. You support the Grasvan veto? I guess that's nice for us. It's already been a long day. Maybe they know that I have to wake up early tomorrow. We have a very fun weekend of StarCraft ahead of us, guys. It's not just the Big Brain Bouts tonight. That's cool. Tomorrow, a very important match between the Platinum Heroes and Shopify in the WTL at, I think that's at 4 p.m. European time. So 10 a.m. on the East Coast. The winner makes playoffs. The loser gets eliminated. That's very hype. Final play day of the season. And then on Sunday, we also have Basilisk versus Onsite. Our undefeated record is on the line there. Of course, we also have the Platinum Heroes Eagles Open tomorrow night. This is the best of 5. Hey, Roddy, why are you racing on F1 instead of iRacing? Well, mate, because I like F1. I know, that's it's tough, but I really enjoy F1 23. A lot of my friends play F1 23. I am a very casual racer. I don't care about how serious or realistic things are. I just want to have fun with friends. It's easy access, and that's why. All right, that's racing. We'll talk about racing tomorrow night. Full race, Hungary. Sign up, guys. But that's tomorrow. Tonight is Big Brain Bouts. 2 of the absolute best players on the entire planet. We're not talking about 2 of the best Europeans. 2 of the best players in the world. Let's get it on.
Let's get it on. Round 1. Fight.
In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of our Italian boy who just turned 21 and he celebrated his 21st victory with a W at the Home Story Cup. Became a back-to-back Home Story Cup champion. Representing our very own Basilisk, of course, is Reynor. Playing from Italy. Probably still under the influence of the grandma buff, as he moved his playing setup to his grandma's house. And he's got AC there and better internet. The grandma buff is real. I don't think he's lost a series yet. Even won the Kung Fu Cup on Wednesday. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of the guy that everyone is talking about. Has been red hot from time to time online. Over the last month, a few more losses than I've seen him have before. But what we know is that he is one of the best TVC players on the planet. If he's feeling it, it's the one and only.
Liquid Clem.
The Grandmaster's coach. Could very well be, mate. Could very well be. I did not hear anything about it, but perhaps we have an opportunity to ask Reynor about it on Sunday. After the boys take on Onsite. Reynor will be playing Ryong. I guess this is pretty good practice. Obviously, Reynor is expecting a victory there, and I think a lot of people are, but Ryong is still dangerous. Not to be underestimated. I don't think I'm doing any interviews today. We could maybe do a tiny interview. Let's see how the series goes. The thing is, this series was supposed to start at 9, but we've had so many long and epic best of 5s tonight that we are now 1 hour behind schedule. And it's not very nice when I tell the players, like, hey, be ready at 9. And then we actually start the series at 10. If it's then a long series, like, hey, you want to do an interview at midnight? Like, that's a bit much. Is the international over here? No. But thank you. Reynor has been inconsistent in the team league. You could easily drop a game to Ryong. Nah, but that was 20-year-old Reynor. I think 21-year-old Reynor is a whole different animal. And I think the best is yet to come, my friend. So far, the openings are pretty standard here between these two. Clem is dropping a starport though before 3rd CC. Reynor apparently has been tricked into believing that roaches are good again. Not too long ago, Reynor had a speech on his stream where he feels every 6 months he falls for the trap of believing that roaches are good against Terran. Then he does it for a couple games until he has a heartbreaking defeat, and he never does it again. Until the circle is round and we enter the new era of Reynor believing roaches are good. I've always been a bigger fan of Reynor playing with Zerglings just because of how quick he is and how much potential I feel like a guy like Reynor can get out of Zerglings. As Clem is just going to try to get in there, and he actually prevents the Evo. Whoa, that's a lot of drones clumped up. That's already a couple of drones going down. And now we have a Reaper and a Hellion in the main base. Can he get a few more? There are 2 extra Hellions, guys. They're going to sneak into the natural. Keep an eye on that. An amazing start here for Clem. Honestly, that's an amazing start, guys, because 2 more Hellions are going to drive into the natural. What is happening to Reynor here in game 1? Reynor did not expect Clem to just go for it with his first 4 units. But Clem is absolutely going for it. And now he's got 3 Hellions here. All of them are low in HP, but Clem is so good at keeping them alive. What a start, man. What a start. 7 drones. Obviously, a random Evo chamber finished up in the midst of all of this. I don't think that's exactly where Reynor wanted his Evo chamber. And Cloak Banshees are going to be pretty quick because we have dropped the starport before the 3rd CC. And Reynor has not really scouted that yet. If he moves this one a little bit to the left, he will scout it. But that's an amazing start for the one and only
Liquid Clam.
Oh, that Liquid Clam does need to be careful with his Banshee. Reynor will now obviously immediately know, just based on the timing of this first Banshee. A little bit sloppy here by Clem to take a few of those hits. 2 Hellions are going to try one more time on the edge of creep. Queens are a bit out of position. Reynor is quick to pull the drones away, but another drone falls. Cloak is done, but obviously Sport Crawlers are done as well. Still though, there will be some wiggle room for these Banshees. This is a very, very uncomfortable start for Reynor. If this was a random, irrelevant ladder game, I actually think Reynor would just wave the white flag and surrender. He'd be like, alright, I'm done. Can't be bothered. Terrible start. Nothing I can do. He knows, obviously, that a lot of people are watching. This is the big brain bouts. The 2 Hellions still active as well. The Spore moves. A risky move. Because now I think the Banshees can rotate to the back of the mineral line. Super uncomfortable game for Reynor. The 2 Hellions are going to get in there one more time. The Roach is out of positioning. Oh my goodness. It's a massacre, guys. Queen's very low on HP. Reynor actually attacked one of his own queens there, I believe, for 0.1 second. The Hellion play by Clem has been top-notch out of this world. 4 drones go down again. I have no idea what Reynor is supposed to do from here on out. I guess all he can do is just drone up and hope that he can get some 1-1 upgrades. Only has single Evo chamber at the moment. If you just look at the work count, you're like, but Reynor is still 10 workers ahead. It's not that bad, right? It feels that we are looking at an inevitably super deadly push by Clem. Our Clem's army is just going to be a lot bigger and better. Has way more potential, way more DPS. I think there's very little that Reynor can do about that. Since a lot of you guys are very obsessed with the 10, I've just been sitting outside a little bit, guys. Just been sitting in my backyard, enjoying some sunshine. I've been playing some padel in the outdoors, obviously, not indoors anymore. And I've always tent. It's just that some summers I was legitimately streaming all day, every day. And then I never really got a tent because I wasn't exposed to the sun. But I have tent plenty of times throughout the history of StarCraft 2. First 60 Marines are out on the other side of the map. Reynor Sport Trawler actually coming in very handy there. Without that Spore, it's super annoying to keep Medivacs at bay. How's the Patel going? I'll be honest, I'm not super good yet. I feel like I'm good against bad people, if that makes any sense. But as soon as I go up against people that are actually good, I have a hard time returning their try-hard serves. Like, it's so annoying when they serve hard with top spin close to the window. Like, I really suck at that regard. So I'm still in the learning phase, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Scan goes down and Clem picks off a couple of the creep tumors. We've got a hive on the way for Reynor, which is pretty impressive, all things considered. This has been far from a comfortable game for Reynor. It's basically just been absorbing non-stop blows and having to take care of fire after fire. Still trying to get a sting going. That's not quite the right amount of roaches, I believe. But Clem still picks up. I think Clem, if he really wanted, he could have stayed there and fought. His +1 missile attacks wasn't done yet. I'm not smurfing in real life, guys, I promise. I'm just part of a padel group that has every one of my little village inside of it. And then whenever there are like 3 45-year-old ladies, they're like, we're looking for one more player. I was like, that's me! That's me! That's where I shine! And then when I see 3 dudes in their late 20s, they're like, hey, we need +1. I was like, sorry guys, I'm busy. Can't make it today. But it's not smurfing, okay? I'm just helping out. That's all. The Lurker then is on the way for Reynor, as Hive Tech has already finished up. The infestors are here. Reynor lends a sweet fungal. Well, that's something that Clem's going to have to respect. Clem's army still is pretty terrifying. As long as the tanks are here, Reynor's obviously going to be in a bit of a pickle. But with a few more fungals like that, we can absolutely turn that into a game. Tank is going to siege up on 3. Reynor's Ravages will take care of it. Banshee's going to show up as well. I'm not sure how much anti-air there is. Still no overseer though. Reynor might feel that he's got the numbers to clean this up once and for all. Reinforcements are coming in for Clem. Not a bad fight though by Reynor at all, as he takes care of pretty much every single tank. Very impressive by Reynor. It all started with a great fungal. And Hive Tech Reynor is honestly starting to stabilize, and he's turning this into a game. I don't know if he can do that off creep though. Reynor might be a little too much. Hello Clem. I don't know what Clem just did there. Killed a changeling or something with his tanks. Clem is obviously going up to 4 bases and doesn't really have too much to worry about on his side of the map. Double factory is pumping out 2 tanks at a time with transitioning into Ghost. So it's not that Clem is now losing this game or he's in trouble, but Reynor is showing Clem that he's going to have to work for every single W in this best of 5. 6 Lurkers on the way. Seismic Spines is pretty much done. I don't know if Reynor really has the kind of army that can make magic happen off creep though. It's always... Oh, Reynor forgot about his infestors! Reynor! Oh, and he misses the fungal too. Goes full cuckoo there. And now Clem getting a bit overeager, loses a few marines, but that's a big pickup obviously. Those 2 infestors with all that energy, they look pretty scary. Alright, mate. What can I say, Trigger? Cuckoo is the one who missed EMPs with enhanced shockwaves, okay? That's up to him. GG, Clem still has a chance. I don't think Clem has a chance. I think Clem is absolutely winning this game. But I think Reynor still has potential to make something out of it. This is obviously a map that Reynor is incredibly good at. But Reynor has just been on the back foot for a very long time. And he knows that he needs to take some miraculous fights, but the Terran army should just be a little bit better than a lot of the Roaches and Ravages that Reynor is working with. Marines and Marauders steaming forward, getting on top of a hatchery. Reynor is not in the correct position. Bit surprised. Where is Reynor's army then? He's got 7 Lurkers on hold position. Was maybe waiting for a miraculous flank, but Clem has way more units at the bottom side of the map than I think Reynor expected. So Reynor loses 2 bases and doesn't really get anything in return. Which is a bit of a shame for the Italian Stallion, as he does land another nice fungal. A couple of corrosive balls connect as well. Supplies are close. Momentum definitely in favor of Clem. And don't forget that this is not Clem with his entire army. Clem has 8 siege tanks currently chilling somewhere. He's got planetary fortresses. He's got sensor towers. It's going to be very difficult for Reynor to take a good fight off grid. We have planetary fortresses for days apparently. Reynor is now going to drop a Baneling nest. There's a lot of money in the bank, to be fair. It's going to be so hard though to run into tank with into Clem with all these tanks and all these sensor towers. And don't forget about the ghost. Oh, Reynor wants to go up that tiny ramp, but that would be a meat grinder. Fun start though to our main event of the BASILISK Big Brain Bouts number 33. If you guys need some info about this tournament, !Basilisk in the chat or !BBB. If you want to support it, just show some love to BASILISK. That's all there is to it. They don't want anything else. They don't want you guys to sign up anywhere or buy stuff. They just want to see that you guys appreciate it. And all of that is for free. We've already done this for 33 weeks, which means that we have given out over $16,000 in prize money. And then on top of that, we also had a special edition, the 25th anniversary. So closing in on $20,000 support for just pro gamers showing up every single Friday, which I think is pretty freaking awesome. There's a couple of ghosts getting in the range, land a few snipes. Clem and Reynor are no strangers to the Big Brain Bouts. Clem did get popped a few times as well. Played against Cyril once. Big Brain Bouts number 10. This is not the roach one by that sweet dreams are made of. Maybe Reynor wants to free up some supplies so he can get a few more banelings, lurkers, vipers, but I feel like, I don't know. Maybe we could have done something slightly better with those roaches than that. There's a lot of sensor towers indeed. Clem knows what makes my Protoss heart beat a little faster. The sensor tower is the quickest way to my heart. We're gonna have a lot of scans as well, yeah. How many orbitals do we have? 7. 7 orbitals. Reynor definitely showing though that it's hard to get him out of a game, especially on a map like Ancient. No matter how little things may be going his way in the beginning, the tanks are getting some good shots off. Vipers are here, land a few abducts, but the ghost count is going to be terrifying. We're looking at 14 ghosts already. Reynor may surprise Clem a little bit though with the 37 banelings that he's got out. It feels that Clem is just not in a hurry. Clem's like, hey, well, let everybody tune in, you know, give them some time. Spread the word to your friends. Clem and Reynor are playing a best of 5 for $200. I don't need to stress. Reynor wants to see if there's anything he can do to slow down Clem. The baneling count is quite high. We have 37 banelings, but we have 13 tanks. Jeez Louise. There's a parasitic bomb landing in the middle of some of these medevacs. Clem does not seem to be too bothered by it. Nice fungal. Reynor thinks that that's an opening for him to go for it with the banelings. I'm honestly not sure, Reynor. I think that was bait, mate. I don't think you're going to get close to these ghosts at all. That's the meat grinder. Reynor has now lost 5.1k resources more than Clem. Does have a lot of bases. Is pretty rich. So that's not the end of the world. Even getting a base in the bottom right side, that's honestly kind of wild. Maybe he's gonna pull a Cyril. Mine some of these bases, get Nidus networks exactly right next to the hatchery. And then every single time Clem gets close to this base, you put the drones in the Nidus and just evacuate to the top left. And then if Clem is at the top left, you send him back to the bottom right. Cyril is legitimately the first Zerg that started to do that in some of these late game scenarios against Terrans. It was paying off. Thorn says Reynor can win this. Yeah, he can absolutely win this. I think it's been an uncomfortable game. I think Clem is winning. Clem's army is better, but Reynor can absolutely win this game. As Reynor feels that this is maybe a fight he should take. We have a lot of banelings trying to connect with ghosts, and a couple of ghosts will fall. The planetary fortress, though, is not falling. Oh, it's 5 ghosts or so, right? 10 ghosts have gone down throughout the entirety of the game. I think 5 ghosts died there in that attack. Reynor is immediately going to remax. Clem is throwing down a lot of scans, and now he also sees that Reynor has the base at the bottom right side. Liberators with advanced ballistics are about to show up though. Reynor is maybe looking for a nice fungus. I think Clem is gonna have a very fun time just shift clicking some liberators around the map. And there's very little that Reynor can do about it. There's a strong remax on a lot of banelings. This infestor, guys, has some dreams, but it does see the missile turret. Alright, infestor is gonna unburrow. EMP was very quick, but Fungal still goes down. Blinding Cloud as well on a lot of these tanks. Can Reynor get the planetary fortress with all these banelings? He really wants to get the PF. Gets the PF. Gets a lot of SCVs as well. Pretty expensive though, but at least he's dealing economic damage. Has now lost 8.1k resources more, but it's definitely mining a little more than Clem at the moment, especially after taking out his PF. Not sure how to call that. I think it was alright for Reynor, but I think he wanted more and I think he needed a little bit more. Clem's orbital count is at 9 at the moment. Yeah, I mean there's bases going up everywhere, but when I talk about bases, I only really call out the mining bases. There's so many random PFs and orbitals, it's hard to keep track of those. Seems that Reynor maybe wants to get a Nidus up in the main, but so difficult. Missile turrets are in good spots. Triple missile turret coverage here, that's not going to happen. Jesus, what's the range on that thing? Unbelievable. Now we have a Nidus going up in the middle of all the Terran bases. Big Ling run by, but nice job by Clem there, raising the depots just in time. Obviously the Lings are going to make their way through. Could also become a bit annoying for Clem to deal with this. Eventually he will clean it up. 3-3 Lings are nothing to scoff at. Maybe a single Widowmine here would be cool. Not a bad run by. Obviously keeps Clem busy. Clem meanwhile though is going to take out one of the bases of Reynor. Reynor knows that Clem is going to try to take that base in the top left side. The hatchery somehow did not completely fall. I'm very surprised that we don't have a Liberator here. Sieging up the base. Maybe we already had it and I missed it. And that's why there's no drones there. Because Clem has 10 Liberators with advanced ballistics. And I think Reynor just doesn't really have the army to deal with that. Few Marines will fire the final few bullets that were needed to take down that hatchery. It's only the second hatchery that has died. Thought it was a bit more than that. 2 command centers fell and 1 planetary fortress. Reynor is gonna make 32 banelings once more. The ghost count is 24 though. Come on guys. It feels that Reynor can only win a fight if Clem messes up, no? Like, I don't know what the answer is to 24 ghosts. You can abduct 1, but there are still 23 left. And don't tell me the answer is 23 abducts. There's a couple of snipes go down the low. Oh, but the ghost, I want to say, in a little bit of trouble. Few banelings did connect there. Ghost gun still 20 though. Nice Nidus network in the top left side. We're gonna get a Nidus somehow, guys, in the back of the main. I don't know how it got here. But a little changeling is going to give Reynor vision. And Reynor can now unload some Lings and maybe even Lurkers into the main base. At the same time, thinks about going for it in the center of the map. That's 6 Lurkers. This is going to become annoying, but obviously there are Liberators that tank guys. Ghosts. Could use personal cloaking. Ghosts will go for snipes instead. Reynor has a lot of units trying to run into the third base. The Ghosts are here though, a bunch of Overseers. So important for Reynor that he doesn't run out of Overseers when the ghost count is so high. That main base is going to get liberated. Reynor's mineral bank is really not that big. And these are pretty expensive attacks. It's dealing damage, but I'm not quite sure if we can say that these were successful attacks. We had 24 ghosts earlier. Ghost count has now dropped to 18. Reynor is going to try to get another Nidus up. Couple of tanks perhaps, and Ghost in trouble here. This is no longer a planetary, it's now an orbital. That is something that Clem needs to keep in mind. Reynor doing an alrighty job for sure. The question is it good enough? Scan goes down, the gold star here, so Reynor should try to save these lurkers, and he does that exactly. Impressive. The Nidus will get taken care of. Maybe Clem can leave like 1 unit here. Reynor trying to go through the center one more time. Current baneling count 33, lurker count only at 3, but obviously this many links, if they can ever get some surface area on the ghost, they're gonna have a good time. Reynor not quite sure on where he wants to go. Drops another Nidus in the main base as well. The banelings and links are good enough to take out the planetary fortress in the top left. Now some of the ghosts are in a bit of a pickle here. What a chaotic fight. A lot of the tanks were not siege, but now they do siege up. In the end, Clem will always be fine here. Just the question is, how much can Reynor kill? Reynor killed a decent amount, right? Took out a base, another Nidus goes up in the main. Liberators do not kill buildings. The tank, however, will. Oh, as long as Reynor is mining of these bases in the bottom side of the map, maybe. Slowly but steady, he's getting somewhere. Clem's ghost count is at 14 at the moment, and Clem seems to be struggling for gas. All of the refineries have been taken. You don't often see a Terran player be low on gas. This is what I was talking about earlier, by the way, why I think that this base is a base that you can't really do a whole lot with. But in Reynor's defense, he has mined a lot of resources here. Has honestly mined a serious amount of resources. Vipers have made their way to the bottom right side. Tank gets abducted. Parasitic Bomb is going to soften up 2 Liberators at a time. And one of them gets abducted. Clem's army supply is becoming a terrifying number to keep an eye on. Since Clem has all the bases, all the upgrades, all the infrastructure that he needs, some of the SCVs that he lost, he doesn't really need to replace them anymore. The man still has 11 orbitals, so 46 SCVs is more than enough, which obviously means that he can get an absolutely insane army supply. Reynor cannot do that yet. Reynor does not have the bank to go down in drones. So Reynor is fighting a 37 army supply deficit. And now fighting up, Trip is going to run into not one but 2 planetary fortresses at the same time. Really wants to get the ghost. Seems that Clem is going to try his best to kill the overseers. Only a single overseer is left. I'm not sure about this attack. Only one of the PFs actually got taken out. A couple of the ghosts did go down, but I really feel that was way more expensive for Reynor than it was for Clem. As Reynor does get another Nidus in the top left. Liberators trying to keep the base safe. SCVs are stacked up. Nice shots there by the lurkers. Reynor is finally forced to give up on this base in the bottom right side. It's a pretty epic game. Can Reynor eventually get that one fight that can put a serious dent in this number right here, the army supply of Clem? Because at the moment, that is just the biggest problem. And it's going to be harder and harder for Reynor to get a good fight, as we now have a nuke going down in the bottom right side. Since this is such a chaotic game with a lot of fights happening at the same time, I don't think Reynor is paying attention. Reynor is battling a Thor. Reynor is going for a couple tanks, but the nuke does land, and it's 21 drones going down to a single nuke. And Reynor's supply has just plummeted. Gets nuked, takes the bad fight in the center of the map, all at the same time. That really hurts. Oh, Ghost! Imagine if that Ghost would have sniped the Overseer too, then it would have been able to get away. Too many fights happening. Too many bases. GG gets called in the end. After 26 minutes and 10 seconds. It is the 155 army supply of Clem. That's a little too much. I can show you guys that nuke one more time. I know I did a bad job in showing it, guys. But I kind of think that, you know, 4 or 5 tanks or an army going down in the center of the map is more impactful than a nuke. So I wanted to time it perfectly that I could show you guys both. Yeah, just every single drone at this base goes down right when Reynor takes the fight here and here. So there's 3 fights happening. The nuke is picture perfect. A couple of the tanks fall, but obviously not good enough. GG. Great first game. A bit intimidating for Reynor that he loses on his favorite map. Favorite map of a lot of Zergs in the current map pool. 4 more games like this and the series is until midnight. I mean, I have done so many days that we were casting till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes we do some American qualifiers or American weeklies till 6 a.m. Midnight is not too intimidating. Midnight on a Friday night is perfectly fine. Isn't it required for Reynor to lose game 1 if he wants to win a series? He has definitely said those things, but I don't think that losing on Ancient was part of the plan. Clem looked very active. Clem had a great start and obviously just never really let go of the comfortable position that he got himself in. I think Reynor tried to do whatever the hell he could to bring it back and turn it into a competitive game, and it was. But I just... Once Clem stabilizes on 5-6 bases, and I don't think that Clem was really playing it with a lot of urgency. When he was active with the Marines and Marauders out on the map, I'm just letting them know that I'm ready, but I think we're waiting for Clem. Like, Clem often left a lot of tanks at home, left Liberators at home, left Ghosts at home, because he knew he was in a great spot. So he was like, alright, I'm just gonna battle with some of these bio units, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, pollen season. It's back. It's not as bad right now as it was last month, but I have been sneezing a lot over the last few days. Thank you guys for the blesses me. Shout out to my man, the StarCraft historian, for gifting a subby to J-Fleisch. And yeah, that was it. So let's go. Game 2 coming up. Hi. Royal Blood.
Round 2. Fight!
In the top right side, we're looking at the main base of the man who just went for it with a Reaper and 2 Hellions, and that opened the door for Hellion number 3 and 4 to give him a good start. Obviously, still had to do a whole lot of work afterwards, but that was a sweet way to kick off a difficult map. This is the one and only
Liquid Clem.
Of course, representing Team Liquid. They will be playing tomorrow as well, guys, in the WTL against Abydos, starting 2 p.m. Central European Summertime. Bottom left side, we are looking at the main base who will be fighting for us, Basilisk, on the Sunday afternoon against Onsite to see if we can lock up a top 2 finish guaranteed. The Italian Stallion turned 21 2 weeks ago. It's a Reynor. Clem? What is this, guys? What the hell is even this? What is this? Okay. Well, we're gonna keep an eye on that. Reapers. Okay. So we're just hiding the fact that we're playing 2-Rex Reaper and then we're gonna fly barracks home? Or are we gonna fly this barracks into the main base for some high ground vision? Seriously, Reynor, you lost game 1? Yes, Captain Buggisnot. Reynor lost game 1 against one of the absolute best Terran players on the planet. I think it's acceptable. Clem thought Reynor was playing Terran. I think Clem thinks that Reynor is playing Protoss. It's like Tech Lab, Marauder, Concussive Shells. It's like, got him. Now it's 2-Rex Reaper. It's just 1 barracks at home, 1 barracks on the other side of the map. Keep an eye on it. Reynor is obviously world class, and Reynor will know his timings to a T. And if a command center goes down 30 or 40 seconds later, Reynor already knows what's up. He doesn't need to scout that second barracks to figure out what is happening. That's why we've got 10 Zerglings already on the way. 2 Reapers in the main base though have some potential. Reynor's losing a decent amount of Zerglings here. Clem's micro is obviously always going to be good. Clem's micro is good when he's fighting an unfair fight, but if he has the micro potential advantage with Reapers against slow Zerglings, yeah, it's going to be godlike. Reynor knows that. Clem knows that too. Even though he would never say it. He knows. Alright, so we have a command center going down on location. Could Reynor maybe sneak a few units to the other side of the map? That seems unlikely without Zergling speed. I think Clem is already quite happy with this start though, guys. Not looking too bad. Reynor needs to be very careful that he doesn't lose a queen. There are 2 queens about to pop, and obviously none of those queens are going to have energy. At least you can send the low HP queen into the back. Reynor is making a lot of Zerglings here, guys. Sweet baby Jesus. Reynor is making a few more Zerglings than I expected. A creep tumor gets picked up as well. Guys. Reynor is about to go up to 28 links. Clem is throwing up a bunker on the high ground. It seems that he knows. This is not looking very good for Reynor at all, is it? Reynor is gonna get basically 0 ROI on these 28 links he just made. Well, that is. Unless he waits until the perfect moment to show up. Reynor obviously has some vision with the Overlord, so right now he's playing around this vision. He is waiting, and he's gonna keep on waiting. And he's gonna hope that Clem thinks that ain't happening. And we're just defending, but Clem wasn't born last night. The links of Reynor are about to show up. Clem needs to hop it though. Clem is late. Clem is late. I can't believe it, guys. Clem shows us that he's a human. And he is late with hopping these Marines back into the bunker. And Reynor is about to find so much more damage than he was ever supposed to fight. And the Lynx are just pushing their way through. Bunker is going to get mass repaired. Can the Lynx get through the SCVs? That doesn't quite seem to be the case. But it's already a silly amount of damage. Where Clem could have taken 0 damage. Again, the Marines are on the wrong side of the wall. Nice shot for the heli in there though. Well, 0 ROI turns into a whole lot. 9 SCVs and a bunch of Marines. Reynor absolutely needed that though, guys. Otherwise he's dead. To be fair, I still don't think... Like, is this great for Reynor? I don't know if it's great. Economically, it's absolutely not. Reynor is now making Clem believe, like, hey man, this is it. These are my final few Zerglings. You really need to clean this up. And then more Lynx are about to show up. Reynor wants to get the surround. Reynor gets the surround on the Reapers. Gets a few more SCVs as well. Not once, but twice. Clem gets fooled. Clem thought it was over. It wasn't over. It's a beautiful play around vision here, what Reynor is showing us. And I think that's actually it, man. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. To find a few Lynx doing their thing in the main base. 11 SCVs have gone down. Okay, it's not quite it yet. Clem is obviously going to battle. He's going to try. I thought there were a few more Lynx here, so I thought more SCVs would die, but... Okay, no! No, Reynor can be happy. Reynor wasn't happy. And this is not like 100,000% over, because it's Clem, and Stim is 70% done. Against the Zerg with... fuck, it's pretty... It's a Reynor, right? Like, if Clem is playing this position... against the Zerg that's 1,000 MMR worse than him, then it's not over. Then I genuinely believe that Clem can win. But against Reynor, I don't think he can win. Clem is actually ahead. I don't know if you guys are serious or not, but Clem is not ahead. Clem is down 31 workers, guys. 31. Clem is not ahead. The thing is as well, it's not that Clem can pick up every single Marine, go to the other side of the map, then he's got 0 units at home. Very unnecessary burn on Mixtooth Thorn. But I'll allow it. Very unnecessary, but I'll allow it. Clem is gonna pick up a couple of units and basically just defend his natural with 2 Hellions. Reynor is gonna get a heads up that this is coming. Don't forget that these are just Marines without combat shield and no +1 attack or +1 armor. It was alright at first until the second time. The second one it was not. But that was way more damage. But you gotta give kudos to Reynor for how well he hit that, how well he sold it. Clem is gonna salvage the bunker now. He knows that he doesn't really need that anymore, but he also knows that he's got his work cut out for him. This entire map is about to be turned purple. There's very little that Clem can do about it. What Clem does have, guys, is 4 medevacs now. 4 medevacs and a dream. And combat shield is about to kick in. Sad thing is, for Clem still has no E-base, guys. Okay, now he drops 2 E-base. Okay. 8-minute engineering base going down. Widow mines are going to burrow, on burrow, one of the mines fires, and honestly it almost feels that it doesn't really matter how good these shots are. Right, it does need to get on top of spending his money. He's got a little too much money in the bank. Queens are on move command. Reynor transfuse. That is exactly what he's going to do. He's going to keep the queens alive. Hydra then goes down. It's very sad to see Marines with 0-0 fight Zerglings with 1-1. Reminds me of that Fall Out Boy song, where it's like, we don't fight fair. Not a fair fight. Reynor could even maybe have 2-2 temporarily, but I guess that's not going to happen. Clem can turtle on 3 bases for a long time, but he doesn't have tanks. He's got Widow Mines. Widow Mines are normally the unit that you have when you want to be out and about on the map and be aggressive and make some shit happen. Doesn't really feel like that is going to happen. Marines cannot stand their ground there. We have a couple of Lynx sneaking into the mineral line here. Clem is losing more SCVs when he's already in such a problematic spot. Sick Widow Mine shot though. That is an amazing Widow Mine shot, but he's going to need 10 more of those. Needs to lift the Orbiter as well. Okay. Couple Widow Mines killing a few drones on the other side of the map. A 3-for-1 ratio though is not what Clem is looking for when he's on the wrong end of that 3-to-1 ratio. Four medevacs with a bunch of marines in the center of the map, trying to make life a little bit more complicated for Reynor, but Reynor just has so many units. Very little Clem can do. We got Banelings rolling into the third base now as well. 12 SCVs have gone down. That Baneling gets a very good connection on the marines too. Even the orbital is low on HP. I'm gonna have to repair that orbital in the near future. Clem is dead, and Clem knows that he's dead. GG gets called. Reynor ties things up. And that also means, guys, that we did not have a single 3-0 tonight. When it comes to the Friday nights, my job is to prevent 3-0s. And I was very good at that in the beginning. Lately, I've been a little less good at that, but 2 minutes is what Reynor is requesting right now. So, guys, since Reynor is requesting a 2-minute break, I'm going to go ahead and take a 2-minute break as well. Obviously, a very long and intense first game. Second game was a bit shorter. So take a tiny break, and I'll be back in 2 minutes with Game 3 between Reynor and Clem. I'll see you guys soon. No 3-0 party. Thank you for the good job, guys. Means a lot to me. No blushing. I am not against that, mate. If you can get a sexy no 3-0 emote for me, yeah, we should do that. I don't know what the plan is, by the way, for next Friday, guys, when it comes to the Big Brain Bouts. I am working on something. However, I am not available next Friday because I have been put in charge of the Muslims' bachelor party. And that is happening next weekend. But we're already working on it, and I'll keep you guys posted in Discord or Twitter, obviously. We'll do our best. I have a plan, but I'm not sure yet if that plan is going to work. So we will see. The nerds are ready for Game 3 on Dragon Skills. We are loading in. And it's time to battle. An excellent evening of video games so far and an excellent main event. Let's see what Game 3 is going to bring to the table.
Round 3. Fight!
In the bottom right side of Dragon Skills, we are looking at the main base of the man who opened up with a proxy barracks when 2 Rex Reaper honestly had a sweet start, but he fell for all the Zerglings that his opponent made. Did not expect it, not once, but twice. Probably kicking himself a little bit for that, but there's a whole lot to play for. Here on Dragon Skills, representing Team Liquid, the one and only Clem. Or, as Sarah would say,
Liquid Clem.
in the top left side of Dragon Skills, we are looking at the main base of our 21-year-old Italian Zerg. Seems to be on a bit of a roll ever since he leveled up in real life. Representing Basilisk, it's Reynor. I can't say it often enough, guys, but Sunday, 4 p.m, final playday of the WTL regular season Code S. Number 1 Basilisk goes up against number 2 on site. Or I guess we are number 2 and they are number 1. But our record is better. We are 10-0, they are 9-1. And it all comes down to the final playday of the season to determine who is going to finish first or second. 4 p.m. Central European summertime. 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. It should honestly be a pretty epic clan war. No, Thorn, that's not it. If we find somebody else to host it, we'll keep it within the family, mate. The BASILISK family. Dragon Skull is honestly one of my favorite maps in TVC. I know that once in a while you get the split map scenarios here, but it always feels that there are just a few more attacks possible than there are on a map like Grassfond, where I do think it can be a bit still sometimes, and at minute 20 you already know it's going to be a 40-minute game, and that's not always that fun. I feel Dragon Skills doesn't have that. Even if it feels that both sides are very well set up, there's still always potential to make great plays, find damage, and turn it into something. Clem is keeping his SCV around on the other side of the map. Maybe hoping to tank some damage. Can Clem find a drone? It's unlikely. But he's trying. Pretty easy defense here for Reynor. Ends up losing a single Zergling, but that's obviously no big deal. He actually went all in on the... I don't know what the final channel point prediction was. What was the final percentage, guys, and how many points were wagered? If any of the mods or maybe users can let me know. I don't know who can see that or not. kind of lost track of it because game 1 started off in a pretty explosive manner. So I was just focused on the Hellions and the Reaper, and I lost track of our little prediction game. 51% against 49. Okay. In favor of Clem. That. 1.9 million for Clem, 1.8 million for Reynor. That's one of the bigger predictions we've ran in a while. Cool to see that you guys are invested. Reaper doing a pretty decent job here in delaying that hatchery from going down. Reynor obviously cannot think that it's over. It's never over with Clem. You know it's never over. You know it's never over. Reaper has regenerated. Queen blocks the drone. And now it goes down. Still a good delay though. Uh-oh, now 2 queens are out of position. It could be a repeat of Ancient all over again. Reynor is going to take this very serious because he knows the potential that just a Reaper and 2 Hellions have. Clem, not sure if he wants to go all the way in. Oh, that's a lot of drones clumped up. I think now Clem is just going to evacuate. We'll probably pay a hefty price for it though. There are 2 more Hellions about to show up. That's important for Reynor to keep in mind. 2 more Hellions about to show up. They're going to get some good shots. They're going to not get the perfect shots because the Lynx are here to save the day. Whew. Half a second away from an absolute nightmare start for Reynor. But now in the end, it's the complete opposite. I would say we turned a nightmare into a sweet baby dream. Because now we killed 3 Hellions and a Reaper and only lost 3 drones. It's a game of inches at the highest level, but yeah, that worked out well for Reynor. Well, Clem also needs to be a bit more careful. Because obviously if you lose the Reaper that early, you no longer have the Reaper to tank the first few shots of the Queens over and over again. And you don't want the Queens to fire at your Hellions every single time you're on the edge of creep. Because Hellions do not regenerate. First Banshee chilling in the center of the map. Activates Cloak. There's no Spore Crawler here yet though. No Spore Crawler yet. Spore Crawler not in place. Very quick Cloak Banshee is going to have a good time here. And a decent amount of drones are absolutely going to fall. Running towards that Spore. Hellions going to try to get lucky into the natural one more time. Good micro there by Clem. Getting shots off on the Lynx. Disengaging immediately. Look at the Banshee. Look at the start for Clem in the end. Wow. Second Banshee is now making its way into the third base as well. Spore Crawler is going to keep the third safe, but is there more potential for these Banshees? Excellent follow-up here by Clem, guys. And Clem wouldn't be Clem if he ain't done yet. Banshee's still pretty healthy too, right? For the amount of work they've already done. Obviously, when I say that, they take some damage. A really good early game here by Clem. Nice save on that drone by Reynor. Morphs the drone. Banshees are not going to fall. Clem is getting the best of Reynor here in the first 6 minutes, where Reynor had actually a sweet start, man, against the first few Hellions. Okay, Reynor might now get the surround, and that's obviously a whole lot better. That's going to make Reynor's life a little bit easier. Finally, does not have to worry about these bad boys anymore. And you also now don't have to worry about them. Holy smokes. Eric, let's go. Thank you so much. Now you also don't have to worry about these Hellions morphing into Hellbats by the time an armory would kick in. Thank you so much, matey. Let's go. That's big. We have the alerts disabled whenever we are in-game, because otherwise it can get distracting for you guys. Just know that I'm very grateful and thank you. And Breba supporting the big bro. Baby Marine always conflicted. Do we support the big bro or does he support his Terran idol? It's not easy, guys, being the younger brother of Reynor, but being a Terran player. But I believe the love for the big bro is stronger than the love for Terran. The Marines stim up the ramp, sniping Overlord, and Reynor requests a pause. Reynor says 800 ping. Is he at the grandma place, Baby Marine, or is he at home where you are? Thank you to Sixpack for the 4 months. Okay. Well, hopefully that's temporary. Taking a look at my ping. My ping is 15. It should not be Battle.net. I think it's just Reynor. Hopefully that goes away quickly. Reynor says nice. Good now, I think that's sarcasm, Clem. Whenever Reynor writes nice like that, it's that's sarcasm. Well, we're just gonna give it a minute. I know it's been a long evening already, but we're not in a rush. At least I'm not. I know that they did, at least Clem did play in Pig's tournament earlier today. So it's been a very long day for Clem, so he might actually be getting a bit tired. Alright. Reynor says it's going down. Now he's serious. Clem says, nice. Go, go. I don't know. Want me to on-pass? Yeah. Of course.
Game resumed.
I don't know the hotkeys. I do it the old-fashioned way. Don't make fun of me for being a boomer. I don't know my hotkeys. I always do it by mouse. Don't stop, chat. I know you're gonna make fun of me. Imagine if you hit rewind. Yeah, that would have been sad too. I've never used the hotkeys in my entire life. Almost pressed surrender. I know. I get nervous. I'm not made for those moments, okay, guys? I'm not a big game player. But we are good to continue. Focus. Where were we? Yes, obviously, one of the Banshees died. I don't think I saw that. The second round of the Hellions and the Banshees was pretty successful for Clem. Already has his 1-1 upgrades. Reynor is making 11 banelings. Those are his first banelings. Does have baneling speed. Does not have burrow yet, though. A rookie mistake. I don't think Reynor should fight this. Reynor is looking for a counterattack on the other side of the map. What a moment. Obviously, these two always fight at the same time. Baneling speed kicks in. Baneling speed should get some decent connections. But I don't think this is a hatchery you can really keep alive. I feel like if you try to keep this hatchery alive, you potentially lose the game, Reynor. You're down 2 upgrades and tanks are in a very, very sweet spot. It's almost like Clem doesn't want to immediately kill it because he's like, no, Reynor, you should try to save it. Obviously, the longer Clem waits, the more likely it is that Reynor does save the hatch. Clem just wants to get another good trade. He's going to stim forward. Takes it out. Yo, snipes the banelings. Oh my goodness. Liquid Claymore doing Liquid Claymore things. Snipes pretty much every single baneling there while standing awfully close to them. Reynor saves the hatchery. Clem saves his army. And Clem potentially saves the entire game here. Holy smokes, what a moment by Clem. That was insane. I cannot believe that he sniped all of them there. Ice through their veins, these Marines of Claymore. Sometimes it really feels that the game plays in slow motion for Clem. That he just has the right amount of time to calculate whether or not he can snipe those banelings. A single misclick and he loses 60 Marines there, loses those tanks too. And he's in all sorts of trouble, but Clem's so confident in his ability to snipe banelings. And that was a game-ending moment, guys. As Clem is going to stim forward again, going to grab a couple of these queens. Reynor is able to push it back, but wow. Such a display of skill by Claymore, as now Claymore is everywhere where he needs to be. We've got Widowmines burrowing all over the place. Reynor sets up a big counterattack on the minimap, guys. We'll keep an eye on it. Reynor is in the natural. Might have some potential here, but I do want to take a look at this army because this army is very important. So far, not too many SCVs are dying. The Widowmine shot is good. But Reynor is going to get some work done here. The Clem is also getting a lot of work done and is still running away from banelings across multiple screens. Seems like Reynor cleaned up the army on the left side. Okay, Reynor actually cleaned up the army on the left side. We've missed it. Clem missed it. And that run by is potentially turning this entire game on its head. Are you kidding me? Clem now perhaps in some trouble as he does still have a much bigger army, but his economy is hurting. Wow, what a run by. The Ling run-by of all Ling run-bys, it allows Reynor to kill over 30 SCVs, a lot of lost mining time, get on top of the production, and cleans up the army on the left side, all at the same time. That was mental. Well, Reynor is now about to even up the upgrades, and that's obviously already for the first time in this series. Knows about this army. Clem has a couple of units stuck. He's gonna fly into the main. Couple banelings try to roll into the mineral line. Wow, what a turnaround. There is a Widowmine here though. Okay, Reynor sees it. I was a bit worried there. Okay, the boys are really swinging right now. There are just units being sent out everywhere. It's honestly hard to keep track of it. Clem is gonna get on top of this hatchery, but Reynor goes for round 2. He knows that the floodgates are open. gets the Widow Mines. These SCVs are dead. All of them are dead, and more SCVs will down. But Clem still has a big army on the other side of the map, and that is one thing that Reynor needs to keep an eye on. Like, Reynor is going to be able to wipe the floor with almost everything, but he's also losing all the bases at home. Where is this going? A couple of Banelings do connect with Marines. Clem's army is still a whole lot bigger, even though he's got no economy. And literally, Lings are on top of the production with Adrenal Glands. Reynor losing another base. Clem, you need to save those Marines. Saves most of them. Oh my goodness, what a game. What a game, guys. Is it good enough for Reynor? Does Reynor have enough Banelings to survive? He finds a tank, finds maybe a Widow Mine, but loses a lot of Lings. The entire main base of Clem is in shambles. Where's Clem's army? Clem is going to bring home the army, but well, that's going to take a little while. The work account is a tiny bit deceiving, because obviously these hatcheries are not up and running, but if Reynor just gets a few more, Clem picks up the SCVs, supplies both players underneath the 100 supply. That's wild. You don't see that very often. Okay, there's still some Widow Mines scattered all over the place, and they're getting some good shots off. This Widow Mine has 21 kills. Clem has a 36 army supply lead. Reynor obviously still has his production intact. Has way more drones, but it's really a little bit deceiving, guys, because obviously the first 3 bases, they don't mean that much anymore. Clem might still win this. Clem's army is still quite a bit bigger, even though he's on 27 SCVs, but a few more good Baneling connections is all it really takes. How many barracks remained? 5. 5 barracks left over, no starport, 1 factory. SCVs! Why are the SCVs here? We're dropping SCVs into the main base of Reynor. Reynor is going to lose a bunch of drones. Here we have a Banshee as well that obviously has some potential. It should still have Cloak. Banshee has Cloak from the early game. It's going to take out even more workers. What an insane game between these two. Clem picking up, unloading again at the 9 o'clock base. And Reynor at this point just focused on defending. Taking a lot of damage, guys. Banshee is now in range of a Spore Crawler. Can Clem save it? Yes, he can. He's going to try to drop into the main base once more. The Lings and SCVs have even upgrade. The Lings and the Marines. Look at the SCV fighting. The SCV was being healed up. It was fighting. Reynor does keep his main base safe. Keeps the base at 9 o'clock safe. Clem has a crazy amount of orbitals, though. Hello? That's a big army. SCVs are all over the shop. Reynor is about to make another big attack with 33 Banelings, but there is a bunch of tanks and there's a whole bunch of Widow Mines. I don't know about this attack for Reynor. I think Reynor is underestimating the amount of Widow Mines there are going to be here. Does drop a parasitic bomb. That is big because there is no starport, remember, so if Medevacs die, that's very bad news. Is it good enough? Are there any Widow Mines left? There is still something happening at the 9 o'clock base. Clem stims. Snipes a couple Banelings, snipes more Banelings, snipes a lot of Banelings, snipes all the Banelings because he's Clem, but Adrenal Glands is such a big deal. And the Lings with Adrenal Glands may just be a little bit too much, even though we've got another drop. What on earth is this game? What on earth is this game? But Reynor has taken the supply lead now for the first time in a while. Adrenal making all the difference, even though these Marines are absolute heroes. Trying to get a sweet spot. Clem throws down a scan. That's kind of like a how far behind am I scan. Well, yeah, it's getting dire. It's honestly getting dire. This is drone stuff. Oh my goodness, what a Widow Mine shot. Another Widow Mine is going to make its way into here. What have we got here? Nothing. Stuff burning down. I don't know where to look anymore. I don't think that Clem knows where to look. I don't think Reynor knows where to look. There's just stuff happening. There are 4 Marines in the main base. They kill another Queen, but the no starport life is a problem. I do think... Have we rebuilt it? Yes. There is a starport. There is a starport now. Clem has a planetary, and it's going to be kind of hard for Reynor to take out the PF. Does feel that Reynor has maybe survived the scariest phase, the most difficult phase. But Reynor is still playing a very dangerous game. 1 bad fight, and I think it is still Clem's game. Clem has how many orbitals? 4 orbitals, guys, against pure 2-2 Ling Bane. How many Widow Mines are left? 6. Armory is still alive. This Widow Mine does not burrow. Reynor is going to go for it here on the PF. How many Marines do we have? Only 16. It's going to be very difficult for Clem. A PF and a Dream. The PF is getting a couple good shots off, but is it good enough to save this planetary? Blinding Cloud. Find a few Banelings, get good connections. Repair one hell of a drug. Where are the Marines? The Marines need to save today. This PF is all that Clem really has. The PF falls, and I think that means that Reynor is going to walk away with this game. My goodness. That's insane. Reynor was so dead for a little while, but that run by turned everything around. What a game with a couple of truly epic moments. The Marines on the top right, the Link counterattack, and everything that happened in the last 3 minutes. Bananas. Wow. I did not miss the Blinding Cloud, the PF. No, that helps. But I was just talking about the PF staying alive or not, because obviously Blinding Cloud does not last forever. Insane game. Insane game. Yeah. I don't know what's happening here. Sometimes the alerts, they bug out and they do everything one by one. That's gonna go on for a very long time, so... Oh, the Blinding Cloud didn't cover the PF. Well, it was all about that PF living or dying, but obviously the Marine count got a bit too low. It's insane though that Reynor turned that around. That was an absolutely wild 4 minutes of StarCraft. Clem with a picture-perfect fight in the top right. Reynor with his trademark, hallmark, Ling run by. It's like, okay, that's good, but is that good enough? And then it keeps going and it keeps going. And at one point it felt like there were 4 things happening at the same time. Both players finding success with everything they did. That's crazy. That was honestly crazy. Beautiful StarCraft. What an evening, guys. What a big brain bout, eh? Number 33. I mean, I think Jeremy has slowly already told me, like, whenever you have number 33, you expect greatness. And it's just happening once more. 33 is a magical number. And it produces some very special moments. 2-1 for Reynor in the main event. But we're not done yet, as we're loading into Babylon.
Round 4. Fight!
Bottom right side, somehow, someway, turning things around with a run by for the ages. And then honestly, still had to dig very deep. But he was able to close it out in the end. The Italian Stallion, 21-year-old Reynor, is just built different. It's Reynor, the double intro. Thank you, Captain Herr. Damn, you missed the last game. Well, it will be uploaded to YouTube, and obviously it will also be available on my Twitch. As soon as I end the stream tonight, guys, as soon as we are done, I will make the VOD public, and then you guys can always watch it back. In the top left side of Babylon, a very Terran-friendly map. We are looking at the main base of the kid, who's honestly putting on a show. I think he's playing incredibly well. Perhaps a bit unfortunate he's down 1-2. But he can still be very proud of this performance so far. The one and only.
Good Clem.
So just do exclamation mark Basilisk in the chat, guys. And then there's a link to the YouTube. And honestly, those things get uploaded very quickly. If you really can't wait, then you can watch it later tonight on Twitch. But for that, you need a badge. I think most of the time it's within a day or two that it will be posted. Thank you to my man Ember Drake for the 68 months and Captain Hare for the 37. This was definitely a day to remember so far, guys. The games look like both players doing 850 APM. It got pretty wild. It's been a fun series, man. Even with that crazy Ling attack on Royal Blood, that's not something you normally see on this level. But it's funny how it works, where it's kind of similar to poker, right? Where you make certain plays against very high level players that you wouldn't make against lower level players. And it almost felt that like Clem at one point is like, oh, okay, but Reynor is like too good to make even more links right now. So there is no way he's got extra links, and then the extra links showed up. Reaper is in a bit of trouble, Clem. Ooh, okay. I don't know why I just doubted Clem there for a second, guys. Rookie caster, complete amateur. I was worried that Clem was gonna lose his Reaper to slow Zerglings and Queens. Reynor has no drone out yet. He's gasless. Okay, we're doing that thing. Gasless on 2 base, guys. Here on Babylon. Maybe this is something special that Reynor has been cooking up. Obviously, Clem has vision of the bases, can move the Reaper from left to right. Where is our man Reynor going to take this? Is it another Roach game, guys? Don't have a Roach one yet. It kinda has to be. Otherwise, he's going to be stocky with slow lings and queens forever. It's been a very fun evening, though, guys. Thank you guys for spending the Friday with me. I will be back tomorrow around, I think, 1 p.m., 1 hour before the WTL starts. And tomorrow we also have a long day. Eagles open after WTL. And Sunday, same thing. And we also have the Formula 1 race tomorrow night. Damn it, I'm gonna be tired. A 3-minute and 40-second lair goes down for Reynor. He's got 2 gases in the natural drops, the Roach Warren. I'm honestly still not sure where Reynor is exactly going to take this. Might just be a normal macro-oriented game with a quick hive, but we'll keep an eye on all of it. Third hatch goes down. We've got triple CC on the side of Clem. We've got our first Banshee in production. No cloak yet. Perhaps worth to keep an eye on. Steam being researched. Pretty quick Overlord speed. I don't think that really means a whole lot. Mondays and Fridays are not the same without Roddy. I do my best, amigo. That's a lot of roaches, guys, and a drop lord. And that's more roaches. Now we go back into droning, though. What's a drop lord then about? Are we gonna do that queen harass? That's like slowly but steady becoming a thing. Eric build. I feel like almost every Zerg build these days is an Eric build. I feel like we are entering the era of like where Hero made 2 gases against Protoss, against Zerg, excuse me, and then everything was Hero build. Every Oracle opener was like Hero build? Question mark? Hero build? And now it almost feels that every single opening I see is an Eric build. We are entering the era of Eric. Well, we've got drones coming up, so this is definitely not like all out, but it's somewhat serious. There is a bunker though. It doesn't look too intimidating. Clem might want to repair his Banshee. First tank is pretty much done. I like that missile turret, by the way. Missile turret is going to make life hard on those drop lords. That's pretty cool. I feel Clem is totally fine. Obviously, Reynor is droning up behind this. It's not the craziest investment by Reynor, but I can only assume that he does want something. So he is going to try. We are going to drop some queens and roaches into the main base. It reminds me a little bit of that. No, Reynor! Clem had Steam ready. Steam's forward. Snipes the drop lord with all the precious cargo inside of it. And, well, Reynor definitely wanted to get something done. That wasn't it, guys. That was not it. It almost felt that Reynor tried to cosplay like Serral there. What Serral did at the Europe Regionals Grand Finals. It went a little bit better for Serral and Neo-Humanity than it's going for Reynor here. Patchin says he still believes. I also believe in the guy with the gun that's making his way to the other side of the map. 21 Marines and 2 tanks. If that sieges up right here, this game is over. Obviously, Reynor made a magical comeback on Dragon Skills, and perhaps if you can do it on Dragon Skills, you can do it on Babylon as well. Honestly, starting to look scary. Are these tanks close enough to each other, guys, that Karosebal can connect with both of them? I don't know if that's the case. Thank you, Hops. Welcome, matey. Ooh, Hellions in range of the drones there. Oh, lovely play by Clem. Lovely play to split up the Hellions there of the Marines and getting them in range of the mineral line. Marine count is dwindling though, so Clem needs to be a little bit careful. He's already in a very good spot. Tanks getting some good shots off. Reynor wondering when he should go for it. I think he's got the right numbers right now. Clem knows that. Clem's so good. Right when Reynor finally says, okay, this is my moment to go for it, Clem is like, nope, too late, mate. Picked up the tanks already, or at least unsieged the tanks. Off creep here. Reynor is not going to get a very good fight. Way too much firepower, way too many tanks. Don't do it, Reynor. Don't do it. Guys, tell him to stop. Tell our boy to stop. Might just get a few SCVs here, as the tanks are all chilling in the natural. Some of the Karosebals are connecting, and another one is connecting. Okay. Those are actually doing a little bit more. That one queen is now being dropped in the back of the main base. And it seems that Reynor was able to land the creep tumor. Reynor is completing side quests right now, guys, in the main event of the Big Brain Bouts. Unloaded that dropper that was left over from the previous attack. Managed to drop some creep. And the queen hopped out and dropped the creep tumor. Alright, Reynor. Alright. I mean, that's very annoying, but I don't think it really does a whole lot for Clem. Achievement unlocked. I mean, with that Roach Ravager move out, obviously that was going to be a bad fight for Reynor, but Reynor knew that. But what he did do with it is kept Clem at home for a while and kind of put some fear in Clem. That is allowing Reynor to maybe go up to 4 bases, maybe sneak out a hive, get a couple spellcasters, and turn this into a game. It was a... okay, I think the Drop Lord just died. And it seems that Reynor tried to spread the creep tumor as well. I like how Clem is just leaving it behind. He's not bothered by it. It's like, you go ahead, mate, and have it. The active creep tumor is dead, but the passive one is still there. Queen and Drop Lord have died though. Reynor is waiting for Hive. Hive is about to finish up. Could maybe build some Vipers, but doesn't really have time for it, so he's just gonna max out. His Terran army has potential. You know what's funny, guys, is that Clem is better in avoiding speed banings than he is in corrosive balls. It's almost like he doesn't take the corrosive ball very seriously. But then it does do a decent amount of damage. Reynor has a few infestors in the mix. Ravagers do take out a tank there in the front, so that's a decent start. A lot of things. Ooh, nice fungo. That is a very decent fungo for Reynor to start the fight off with. Lands a couple of corrosive balls as well. And Reynor also feels that he's got enough units to send some to the other side of the map. But Clem expected this and was 2 steps ahead. As Reynor now queues up Zergling speed. 11 minutes into the game. These tanks though are getting some sick hits off. Clem is reading Reynor very well here. Supplies are close. The strength of the armies, it does not feel that close. Reynor does have 2 upgrades now, but he used the spellcasters already. This is it. Reinforcements have arrived though for Clem in the top left side, and that means that Reynor is going to take a terrible fight here. Clem read him like a book. Expected the counterattack, expected the steps. Just knew exactly every single time Reynor felt like it was go time and he was ready to pounce. Clem is stimming forward. He's doing that Terran thing that we have all hated for all these years on the ladder. But the Terrans keep on stimming forward and moving into your army. It's the polite way of Terrans telling you to get out of the game. No one likes it. Tracer, even Terran players hate it in PvP. 20 drones have died. Tanks are getting a few more big shots off. Corrosive balls are connecting though with the tanks, but obviously Clem's economy has gone completely untouched on the other side of the map. Reynor lands one more nice fungal and gets a couple of corrosive balls. It's too late. Reynor knows it's too late. I think Clem knows it's too late as well. Tanks are gonna siege up, get a couple of extra good shots off. Reynor cleans all of it up. But yeah, this is back to being a 3-base Zerg, sort of 4-base Zerg, but absolutely 0 drones. Clem, meanwhile, is a 4-base Terran that is cooking. Did not start 3-3 upgrades yet. It feels that Clem is super far ahead. Reynor's gonna go for Dropalord round 2. Clem is like, you know what? I am actually botted by that 3 tumor in my main base. Throws down a scan. How are the lurker upgrades? Seismic Spines is the first one. Maybe Clem could have saved a couple of the tanks there at the bottom, and then the next push would have been a bit more intimidating, but by keeping like 1 or 2 tanks and 5 marines behind, he's giving Reynor a tiny bit of hope, since Reynor was able to get these tanks, but it really does feel like an unfair fight. Reynor looking for another miraculous fight. Do we have any infestors left? 1? That's the drop lord, by the way. Reynor's going to drop 4 roaches inside of the main base of Clem. Will not quite have the same punch as all the lings and adrenal glands that we saw in the previous game, turning things around. Supplies though dead even, 185, 185. That's not necessarily a good thing for the Zerg obviously, but they are there. Roaches are going to create a little bit of chaos. I think Clem is going to take out another base. Reynor wants to save it, but it also means that he's running through the tanks. Oh, Clem needs to obviously pay attention. Gets the hatchery in the end. And now all the Clem really needs to do is make sure that he cleans up the roaches in his main. Reynor is doing his absolute best here. Do we have Vipers? No. Also still does not have adaptive talents. He's trying to create a second miracle. We're setting up the roach flank. Or roach run by. Run by the looks of it. And Clem is maxed out. Is not really struggling for cash. Making his army bigger and better as he throws down another scan. Reynor tries to run a couple of roaches into the natural, but Clem was also ready for this one. Sure, a single tank goes down, a couple goals go down. Reynor with the Hail Mary play on the other side of the map, but it's not going to be enough, and that's an GG if I've ever seen one. The roaches do not get it done, and Clem will send us to a rubber match, a game 5. Wow, 3 out of 4 best of 5s, guys, going to distance. I did a good job in matchmaking tonight. Thanks again to Elaser as well, by the way, for the raid hops, and too early for me with the primes. I really appreciate it. And early we had my man Eric with all the subbies. Have those been played out yet? Yes, they have. Good games for sure. Excellent games. Cuckoo just screwed up. I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. If I do ever pass away, I really hope that it's Cuckoo operating my funeral. So he lets me down one last time. But everybody else delivered tonight. Nah, Cuckoo did his best and he played a great first game. I'm proud of Cuckoo. He did a good jobby. Ryu is just a really good player, so no shaming. No shame in that. I'm sure Cuckoo's a bit disappointed, but we live and learn. The kid is still young and he will still get better. A 3-2, a 3-1, a 3-2, and we'll have another 3-2. But who is it going to be, guys? Who brings home the main event? Final map, Neo Humanity. You guys ready for a little 1 hour plus game? I just realized that we've already been streaming today for 9 hours and 33 minutes. Whew. Thank you, Mr. Farragut, as well, for 81 months, mate. That's a very serious amount of time. Thank you, amigo. Let's go ahead and do it. Final round. Last game of the day.
Final round. Fight!
Are you owner of Basilisk? No, I wish, mate. I am just an employee. I'm a member of the team. I'm a caster. Once in a blue moon, a player. Only if Reynor or Saro or Trigger has an injury. But I'm mostly the caster, the streamer, and obviously help out a little bit behind the scenes. But I am just an employee, mate. In the top left side of Neo Humanity, we are looking at the main base of the guy that everyone's talking about. It takes 2 to tango. These two, they often deliver, and they've done it once again. Top left, the one and only.
Really good, Clem.
Bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who's opening up the spawning pool here, and no extractors yet. It is our very own 21-year-old Italian stallion representing Basilisk. It's Reynor. Some of you guys are asking for Basilisk merch. I'm gonna have to disappoint you guys. That is not truly a thing yet. Everyone at Basilisk knows that you guys want the store. It is obviously brought up a couple of times already, but it's still something that is gonna take a little while. However, if you join the Discord of either me or Basilisk or perhaps the players like Reynor, Saro, I don't know if Trigger has a Discord, but there are giveaways, so you guys can win a shirt from time to time. Or if you're very sweet to your streamer, you can get a hoodie. So there are some ways to get your hands on the shirt. You go to an event, you say hi to the Basilisk guys. There are some ways to get shirts, but there isn't really a store yet. But that is something that everyone knows that we do want to get. It's just going to take a little while. It's on the agenda. It's just not the #1 priority at the moment. If your wife wants to design a shirt for Basilisk for free, I'm not really the right person to talk to about that, but technically we'll never stop you of creating something cool. If you want to create something nice, I think you can always at least go for it and share it. And then we'll either get the label official or unofficial fan merch, but obviously we appreciate anything you guys make. Alright, focusing on the final game, guys. It's been a marathon broadcast for me, one hell of a day, but I'm very happy with it. I took a couple days off, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. I did not do any StarCraft 2 streams because I knew that this day was going to be long and Saturday is long and Sunday is long, so I wanted to make sure that I would enjoy it and not feel burned out. I absolutely did enjoy my Friday. Mm. Mm. We've got the third CC going down in the main base. Little swap-through with the barracks in the factory. What's StarCraft content tomorrow? We wake up with WTL. After that, Platinum Heroes Eagles Open. Sunday, WTL into Platinum Heroes Eagles Open. Both days, it starts around 2 p.m. and it will go until 9 or 10. So 2 more 8-hour days coming right at you. Sunday is the big day, but tomorrow is very fun as well because of the Shopify match. Platinum Heroes versus Shopify is going to be a banger. So I hope to see some of you guys tomorrow. We've got a few links on the way for Reynor. I feel like Reynor took a slightly different route of getting where we are. Clem again, trying to get adventurous with his first 2 Hellions and the Reaper. Found decent success with this throughout the series, and it's not bad, I think. Can we get one more, Clem? Reynor did a good job there in splitting up the drones. I guess that's small advantage Reynor, right? 3 drones for 2 Hellions and a Reaper. I'd say advantage Reynor, but not necessarily like, wow, that's amazing for Reynor and terrible for Clem. 15 love, guys, to get into the spirit of Wimbledon. Thank you to Zaxaballs as well. Starport is once more working on a Banshee and Cloak. Something that Clem has done a decent amount throughout the series. Obviously the Cloak Banshees were good on Dragon Skills. They were very big there. I missed kind of what Ian Blue was talking about, but it doesn't matter. Alright. I do feel like my head is spinning a little. It's all good. It's a fun day. Clem does not want to do anything too reckless with these 6 Hellions. The queen positioning so far by Reynor is good. You know, of course this is a big test for both of these guys. We are 3 weeks away from a massive tournament in Saudi Arabia, where the prize pool for StarCraft 2 is $400,000. So this is kind of like, you know, crossing your final T's and dotting the I's. Make sure that certain things that you feel good about, that you can actually feel good about it. You're not going to necessarily reveal your entire hand, but it is a good test for these guys to see where they are at. And obviously at this point, Reynor is on a bit of a streak ever since he's turned 21. So I think he wants to keep that streak alive here on Neo-Humanity. Banshee's in a sweet spot. Banshee should get the cancel. Right, that's so close, that's so close. Does not get it, that's crazy. Now there is a second Banshee on the way. Okay, Reynor, it's not just 1 Banshee anymore, it's 2 Banshees you need to worry about. Reynor, don't be stubborn. Oh, the absolute last second cancel, and because of that, Reynor kills a Banshee. Wow. Reynor with the absolute last second cancel, and because of that, he got the Banshee kill. There's the queen though off creep. Can Reynor save it? Yes, he can. The other queens are still on creep. Clem is not going to be happy with that. Of course, getting the cancel on the hatchery is nice, but losing one of your 2 Cloak Banshees for that, and the other Banshee forced to be sent home as well. I think you hope for a little more. Reynor's economy is booming. Trying to take the center base as well here on Neo-Humanity. We've got 81 drones. Try live without social media. That's what I do. You're on social media right now, mate. It's my Twitch channel. This is my social media, okay? Nah, I know what you mean. I think a lot of people have gone through the phase. We're like, oh, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's awesome. And then they use it for a couple of years and like, maybe life is better without. It will always just come and goes in waves. If it wasn't for this being my job, I would have deleted a couple of those social medias a long time ago. And I've already taken a step or 2 back, but yeah, you know, people should do what makes them happy in life, right? Some people love it, other people don't love it. It's okay. Live and learn, move on. You enjoy it, use it. You don't enjoy it, delete it. That's simple. Thanks, getting some very good shots up on Banelings. Beautiful place for the Marines to unload though, but one final Baneling makes it a bit harder. Great fight here though, guys, for Clem. Even though Reynor does get the tanks in the end. And since Reynor is on 89 drones, all of this is acceptable. But I do think that Clem traded pretty well there. Reynor needs to make sure that he doesn't start floating too much money. He needs to start building some battle units right now. Because Clem is here for another wave. Getting the tanks is big for Reynor, but he did pay a pretty hefty price for it. Wants to go for this army immediately. Does not want to get Clem. See Clem get another sweet setup. Clem's Marines are brave. Stim forward on creep. Widow Mines are going to get some Dreading Claws. It's going to take a little while before that comes in to play. Clem does not have +2 armor, by the way, being researched. This is worth keeping an eye on. Could have a very big impact on this game later on. Beautiful split. The Hellions from the early game have now morphed into Hellbats. It is a bit of an issue when your entire army is Ling Bane. Obviously with the right amount of numbers, Reynor is going to be able to clean this up, but is floating some money. And Clem wouldn't be Clem if he doesn't have another squad of units moving out. Clem moves his tank back. He's like, alright, this tank has been here for long enough. I'm going to move it to a slightly better spot. Baneling's crashing into Marines though, and as a matter of fact, super low on HP, does not die. That maybe wasn't quite it for Clem. They're both so good, man. They are both so good. Reynor is floating a little too much right now, though. Oh, no, and he has a misrallied Viper. Okay. Just when you talk about how good they are. Reynor could maybe go for the cooling tower. Is he going to go for the stylish play? No. It's hard to clean up a cooling tower with Banelings and Links. Could have trapped some of the army there. Yeah, that was a caster curse on the Viper for sure, but I think we can all forgive Reynor for a misrallied Viper. He has played an amazing series. What he does not have here, though, is Adreno Glands. And I feel like that hive has been a thing for a little while. Uh-oh. I even warned him about it earlier tonight, guys. Don't do it. 2 upgrades are about to kick in. It's not the Axe build, mate. It's the real Vanya special. Vanya lost legitimately 900 Zerglings last week against Spirit before he realized that he had no Adrenal Glands. And this is really becoming a class. Oh, cooling tower goes down. Doesn't really have a big impact on the rest of the fight. Reynor! Guys, we literally told him. I mean, Reynor is someone that I do think will realize quickly. I hope so at least. The man has maxed out, has money in the bank, is eating a couple of big Widowmine shots to the face. Reynor does not have Adrenal Glands. Maybe once he starts 3-3, that's when he starts it up. The 2 upgrades are done for the Zerglings. Hopefully he will realize soon. It's definitely not for a lack of money. Sensor towers are so expensive. According to Funka, they are 44 Banelings being morphed at once for Reynor here in the center of the map. I mean, like right now it's not that big of a deal yet, but it's kind of becoming a big deal already. Reynor is just going to have a very, very, very hard time finding good trades without Adreno. Last week we asked Vanya after the series, we're like, how did you realize? And basically Vanya just said, well, I was losing every fight. And I can lose a fight, but not like this. I was losing every fight decisively and I just couldn't kill a unit. So I didn't understand why, and then I checked. It took Vanya a very long time. Reynor is just going for it with a whole lot of Banelings, and he will blow up that planetary, so that's a good start. He's going to get a couple of goals here as well. These Links are honestly not going to get too much done. So this is maybe where Reynor needs to turn around. You have a couple of goals, landing a few snipes. I think that was maybe a moment where Reynor could have realized when he was attacking that CC. Good attack by Reynor because of the overwhelming amount of Banelings. He's gonna lose a few Hydras at the tail end of this entire fight. Can you believe it, guys? Can you believe that this is actually happening? For the 3rd time in less than a week, we are looking at a Zerg that is not getting Adrenal Glands while playing Mass Link. This could honestly cost Reynor the game if he does not. Okay, there we go. Alright. He's trolling you. Maybe he was, but he fires it up right now. 13 minutes into it. It wasn't that bad then. Wasn't that bad, guys. Our man Rotterdam Wayne lost 900 links before he realized. Well, it does maybe mean that Reynor wants to wait. I don't know if he wants to go for it again before it's ready, but we'll keep an eye on it. We already took a look at that a couple times, Ring, and it's not much of a guessing game when the number is on a screen. It wasn't too bad. How many names does Reddit Wayne Vanya have? 3. 3 and counting though. Oh, parasitic bomb. Gonna make it hard. Good job there by Clem. Save your ghost. Oh, nice abduct. Can we kill it? Yes, we can. Good job by Reynor. It's a lot of ghosts that are very far forward. Nice with a mind shot though. I don't know about this attack, Reynor. I'm not sure about this attack. Bit of an anti-timing. Right before +3 melee, +3 armor, and before Adrenal Glands. But Reynor just wants that PF, and apparently Reynor gets what he wants. It's the anti-timing of the century, guys. Look on the right side of your screen, but it does not matter. Reynor saw an opportunity and he just went for it. And you know what, guys? He was right. The man attacked right before 3 of the most impactful upgrades. And he was right. The call was good. Gets the planetary, gets a lot of SCVs, and more importantly, gets the vast majority of the ghost. And that's so big. Ghost count completely reset. 15 ghosts have already died in a 15-minute game. Okay, that hurts. 20 Zerglings go down to a single Widow Mine. And there's no way that Clem can step on creep though. That is not going to happen. Clem says, oh yeah, Roddy, watch me. Starting to look that 21-year-old Reynor will stay undefeated. He wins Home Story Cup, he wins the Kung Fu Cup. He won in, I think, the one match we've had so far as well in WTL. And today it's starting to look very, very good for him too. Clem is not totally down and out yet. It's still Neo-Humanity, but it looks very rough. It honestly feels that Clem is a couple of big banging connections away from potentially tapping out. The Widow Mines have had their moments. SCV's in trouble. Clem is dropping on the top right side. Does Reynor have Burrow? No. No Burrow, unfortunately. But Reynor does have pretty much the entire map. I think the Banelings could have gone for SCVs there, no? Even if there is a PF. That does not happen. So Clem survives a scary moment. I was like, how the hell is that Widow Mine even revealed? But the Queens were hugging the Spore Crawler. The day has been long enough, guys, that I am no longer seeing Spore Crawlers, triple Widow Mines. Honestly, excellent split by Reynor there. That wasn't bad at all, and that means that Clem is in serious trouble. Because Clem just doesn't really have a proper answer anymore, besides another line of Widow Mines. Those Widow Mine shots were a little bit bigger. Clem is dropping in the bottom side of the map. Okay. Okay, those Widow Mine shots were very good. The Hydras have no upgrades at all. That's maybe something to keep in mind, guys. These are +0 Hydras. Not exactly the mean killing machine that we are used to. Reynor is rallying a whole lot of Zerglings to the other side of the map though. We have 11 Banelings still. We have 58 Lings. Reynor is starting to play a little bit of a dangerous game here, but most of the calls so far that Reynor has made throughout this game have been excellent, have been correct. Clem is still finding damage on the other side of the map. Barrel Bomb is going to shut down those 2 Medevacs. Third base dies. A lot of SCVs are in a bit of a pickle. Can the Banelings connect with that mineral line? Reynor is, I think, pretty eager to figure it out. But he's also playing it safe. He's just taking care of the army, taking care of another command center. It seems that the Italian Stallion will stay undefeated as a 21-year-old. Everything he touches at the moment turns into gold. Gets the PF, gets the SCVs. Honestly, I kind of feel like that is it. Clem is still going to battle though. Maybe click on the Hydras and he says, 0-0. Is that really that big of a deal? Well, in these numbers it is. GG. Reynor takes out Clem 3-2 in the main event of the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts number 33. And what a night it's been, guys. Holy smokes, what a series. All 8 players showed up today. They delivered. They entertained us from the very beginning till the very end. The night started with Opetry and Roscoe, which was fun. But his ending was as good as I could have hoped for. GG's, guys. It was a lot of fun. Man, our man TKO is lucky, by the way. Our French caster is like, can I cast the Big Brain Bouts this week? I think he does not regret it. And now I think hopefully he understands why I told him for a while that he should be covering this for the Frenchies out there. Because we have so many cool and awesome games every single Friday that it's a shame that none of those guys are covering it. I think Indy had fun. I think the players had fun. I had a lot of fun. Thank you to the StarCraft historian for gifting us another subby.